So our new president is none other than Donald J. Trump. Nice name he has, by the way. And yes, this is going to tear at that slime ball. First off, how in the name of God was this abomination even a presidential candidate? He should have been completely dropped when he was proven to be an unbelievable sexist, or even when he insulted the absolutely heroic immigrant. Nobody in their right mind would have wanted him. So why was he even allowed to run at all? Heck, he should have been investigated because he was also refusing to release his taxes. Instead, nobody in the government bats an eyelid, so things proceed as if nothing had happened. Okay, that's fine. There's still the voting process from the general populace. And since they have heard about Trump's shenanigans and how unrepentant he is, the whole thing should be a landslide for Hillary Clinton, right? Yeah, guess what? As I mentioned, Trump won, despite how much of a clear scumbag he is that the talk show host would rage about him. Okay, kills me. How did this happen? For those unfamiliar with the politics of this great nation, there is an electoral vote system where each state has an electoral vote value that would go to the winning candidate. You see what makes my markings relevant, because all of those states have their values in double digits. That brings up the one bright spot in this whole thing, actually. California, which has the highest value at 55, to say nothing of how I find disgust about the shallowness of its general populace, provided a pleasant surprise when Clinton actually flattened Trump at an approximate vote ratio of 5-3. However, Pennsylvania was blue until the last minute, and it was absolutely needed for Clinton to stand a chance, hence the traitor marking. And Wisconsin also was undecided until later on, but wanted to be too rural for its own good. However, the state that really disgusts me is Florida. Why? Because as I indicate with my addition to the elections map, it's riddled to the brim with racists, when it has 29 electoral votes, the third highest behind only California and Texas. But my annoyance isn't that simple. Oh no! Remember Lane Grave's incident? Yes, the same incident about the 2-year-old boy getting snatched up and drowned to an early sheet demise by an alligator. Instead of showing regards to problems like that, Florida has seen fit to indulge in disgusting hatred and ignorance! That much is clear, even without a key problem that has happened. 868 voting locations have closed themselves to people of certain ethnicities, arbitrarily nulling their votes just for being the term they called them black. I will link to the article about it in an annotation in the description. Now I get that there exist stereotypes like African Americans of both genders being abrasive, Asian guys sacrificing any sense of empathy for a little power. And by the way, just based on the advanced Orange community, there's nothing more than such a stereotype taken up to 11. Asian girls being brained at lost town, American blonde girls being complete idiots relying on beauty, you get the picture. However, it doesn't mean people can't either break the stereotypes or actually prove the selling points that lead to the mentality behind them without letting them be bogged down by the negative aspects. In fact, remember that heroic immigrant I mentioned? He gave his life to save four U.S. born soldiers. Why should anybody spit on him? Just because of some arbitrary difference that the immigrant certainly didn't care about? And that's if the immigrant wasn't even aware of the absolutely appalling lack of gratitude from his foster country. If he had in mind so much as the idea, he's even more heroic for turning the other cheek. Also, while ranting about this whole problem with a friend, that friend also mentioned that gamers mass voted for Trump. Yet again, the gaming community proves its general corruption. What was the reason? Why, apparently, Trump was an anti-villain and Clinton was an outright villain. Never mind that Trump had threatened to jail Clinton if he had won and remarked clearly about only wanting to accept nothing makes Trump the villain. And even if Clinton was a villain herself, she'd still be the lesser of two evils, which is why I voted for her, because she still had the best chance of keeping Trump out of office. Understood that did for various reasons. But what do I expect from a culture that is happy to overuse the term salt like it's a good thing? The only reason gamers could have seen Trump as an anti-villain was because he was not expected to win. This is an innate perversion of what video games are supposed to be about. Being the hero who overcomes the odds as an underdog. Keyword there, however, is hero, which Trump is anything but. Trump is nothing more than a scumbag who has been given too much power now. So yeah, this is how democracy died, with thunderous applause. Oh, and you know something? I actually do like having something with less risk of being degenerate to talk about more actively enough. Unfortunately, having that in this case comes at the cost of the general populace's integrity, at which point I'd be wishing I had nothing to say instead of talking about America, the land of the snobs and the home of the cowards.